Hey there, welcome back, sports fans. Another episode of the Brew and Shaver Sports Podcast, where we are celebrating an incredible Masters this past weekend. Congratulations to Rory McIlroy, the
Absolutely.
first Grand Slam winner since Tiger Woods 25 years ago.
Wow.
Every year we witness history at the Masters, Darren, but
Yep.
this was history on an even greater level.
And I love the way Rory McIlroy dealt with all of it. It was if it was not his first statement, it was in the first part of it. And when he was doing his presser afterwards, said, "So what are we going to talk about next year?" I thought that was great.
And speaking of talking, let me go ahead and introduce to our audience. Brandon is with us, our resident Tennessee Volunteer fan living in West Virginia. Right. So he's got some divided loyalties, but today he's joined us to talk a little bit about Tennessee football. That we'll get to that in just a minute, Darren.
Yeah.
But go ahead and pick up to what you were talking about with McIlroy and the Masters.
What a great the entire flow of the tournament, the way he played on Sunday. What a great story! What a great round! Just so fun to watch and witness that history. Like you said, the first time in 25 years. So incredible, and only the sixth time ever. Correct? He's only the sixth Grand Slam winner. Absolutely incredible and fun to watch, and it seems it couldn't happen to a better guy. Everything you hear about him is nothing but positive, so that makes it even more awesome.
The five previous winners: Gene Sarazen, 1935; Ben Hogan in 53; Gary Player in 65; Jack Nicklaus in 1966; Tiger Woods in the year 2000; and Rory McIlroy 2025. An elite group.
That's some pretty good company. Let me just write my name in the middle of that.
Did you guys see his last approach, like his last shot and whatever? I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just knew from the get go that that was it. He was about to win.
It was going to get him in there. Yep.
Yep.
An exciting Masters. What's not quite as exciting is the Division I men's basketball transfer portal. Oof. We're going to talk a lot about NIL and transfer portal today. But for basketball, men's basketball, the latest numbers I saw, there are 2,050 transfers. Out of those, 393 are committed. 1,657 players are still looking for a home. So you got a percentage of 19% of those who enter the portal are committed. 81% are still available. And by the way, the portal closes Tuesday, April 22nd.
Wow.
So maybe the grass isn't greener on the other side, Darren.
As we have talked about quite frequently and made our opinions very well known on this, the saddest part of this every single year is, even though the portal's closed, people can still be pulled out of the portal. You just can't enter. But still, that kind of signifies when kind of hot time is coming to an end. And the amount of players that think they're going to go somewhere else and get that playing time or get that NIL deal or get that, I mean, not only are they not playing basketball, they're not going to be in school because the offer doesn't come. So very unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the portal, and Brandon, we want to hear from you on this. Let's go to college football, where the big news at the end of last week, and it's still an ongoing story, very fluid, is the departure of the Tennessee quarterback, Nico.
I am a Leva.
I knew a Tennessee fan would know it.
He is a Leva. We know that.
Right before the Tennessee spring game, it all breaks down. He wants more money. Tennessee says no. As of recording right now, he's yet to find a home. But Brandon, as a Tennessee Volunteer fan, tell us a little bit about the gamut of emotions that you've gone through since the story broke, and where are you now?
So at first it was Nico is looking for a new deal, and it was like, oh, okay. I mean, he's kind of figured that would happen, but that was it. and that was the end of the story. Hours later, Nico misses practice amidst contract negotiations, and then that's when it gets a little bit more heated. Then then we get the bombshell that Tennessee has moved on, and we start getting more and more details. We get the $4 million. Apparently, he wanted a Bugatti as well, which is $1 million car. On top of that, then we get some details about how not only is this isn't the first practice that he's missed. Okay, he's missed multiple practices over this. He's also missed fan engagement activities like autograph signings and just appearances. He's missed that as well. So then it's like, okay, so it's starting to paint a picture a little bit maybe about his character is maybe it's not the best. But the kicker was we all know that Tennessee got just basically obliterated in the playoffs last year by Ohio State. Nico threw for I think 104 yards, had like 40 something rushing yards, but he did rush for 2 touchdowns. That's good. But it seemed like he was kind of off during that game. Well, we learned today that he was negotiating this back in December. Okay. Um, and the explanation was that Nico signed a $2 million contract to play the 12 to 13 games, like the regular season plus conference championship potentially. But he was using, and not only him, there's no names been dropped, but him and other players were using the college football playoffs as leverage to get more money. Basically he was threatening to potentially sit out of the playoff game if they didn't pay him more. I mean, can you believe this? Like, I am very upset that we lost our starting quarterback. I mean, anybody would be, but I am so proud of Danny White, the AD at Tennessee, and Josh Heupel in the way they handled this. They did not back down. They handled it absolutely the correct way, and they are very, very overwhelmingly respected for this decision that they made.
Absolutely.
No player is bigger than the power T, as Josh Heupel said. And it stings. It does. It stings because the program could potentially struggle because of it, or the season, I should say, could potentially. We could lose a few games that we didn't think we would. But it was the right decision in the long run. It was the best for the program. So I'm very proud of them. I believe that even if you hate the University of Tennessee, and a lot of people do, I think that United.
Really? Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah.
I think he was looking at you, Darren. He was looking at you.
I had no idea that was going on.
I think collectively, college football fans were all VFLs for a day at least.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. To hear after everything that went on, and after even when we didn't really understand the full magnitude of what was going on and how long it apparently had been going on, to hear Josh Heupel say, we've already met with the team, let them know we're moving on because there is no one, including me, that is bigger than the power T. Mm-hmm. In today's world as it exists, you had to love that moment. You absolutely had to love that moment. And I don't want to go after in a full-on negative way players in general, and even Nico in this moment, because part of the issue is they're working within the system as it has been destroyed, as it has been destroyed in front of us by the NCAA and their stubbornness over the years. But that being said, as friend of the show, Josh Pate, and yes, he is a friend of the show. He doesn't know it, but he is a friend of the show. When he divulged that there was the potential apparently at some point it had almost kind of been decided that he was going to sit out the playoff game, and they worked it out internally without it getting out. His people had already decided that was going to. That absolutely blew my mind. Working within the system as it's set up or not, that's mind blowing to me that could have
Using
ever been a
playoffs
conversation.
using the playoffs as leverage to get more
Yep.
money. It's
Yep.
and obviously you can't necessarily blame Nico. It's his dad, it's his agent, it's
His
the way
handlers. Yeah.
it's the way the system's set up. Like,
Hmm.
what kid wouldn't want more money? Sure, he was a playoff quarterback, so
Right.
he has the right to negotiate for sure. But I
Mhm.
mean, I think the biggest issue here is the NCAA itself and how they're handling
Absolutely.
it. Like, it's gonna. Nico was the first, and my goodness, I think some light bulbs went off across the country in these kids' heads, and it might start an avalanche. Like, I hope it doesn't, but who? I'm curious to see what's going to happen in the coming days.
Well, two of the things that might prevent the avalanche just a little bit is the fact that Tennessee did what they did
Yeah,
and said, nope,
I
not
think
going to do it.
it opened other universities' eyes.
It-
Like, we're not going to do that either. You know?
and even though it is an unconfirmed report, the report that's out there that Oregon gave Tennessee a heads up.
Yes,
Hey,
yes. Hey,
your quarterback's people is contacting our people
good
now.
props
I,
to
I,
Dan Lanning. Like, good
if
for him.
it's true that he was the one what I part of what I've heard is that he shot Josh Heupel a text and said, "Hey, thought you might want to know."
Well said. Good discussion. Let's move a segue over into the WNBA draft for just a second, because we had our first two SEC players taken at number 6.
Nice,
Guard from Kentucky, Georgia Amore, came in at number 6. She's going to the Washington Mystics. So congratulations to
absolutely.
Georgia Amore, great
Yeah.
player. And then at number 7, right behind her, Anisha Morrow, the double-double machine from LSU. What an incredible player. Let me get your take just on those first two SEC players going. Are you surprised that they were the first two to go? What do you think about those picks?
Go ahead, Brandon.
Well, I mean, I guess it's just based on team needs, but I expected Morrow to go 2 or 3 picks higher than 7, just because she's such a great player. So
Yeah,
I feel like she might have dipped a little bit than what was projected, but those two players will be foundational pieces for these franchises moving forward. Georgia Moore gave Tennessee fits this year, and I mean that she is incredible, just playmaking and defense. I mean, she. I don't have anything negative to say about her besides that she crushed Tennessee, but
exactly.
but she crushed everyone else too.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
but she's a great player, and Morrow is what I would think is a generational type player. She's not quite on the level as Caitlin Clark or Beckers or whatever, but as far as like a fame goes, but Morrow will play in the WNBA for 15 years and
Absolutely.
be very, very solid and a perennial all-star. Like that is a great pick at number 7 for Connecticut. And then teaming her with the players that are already there, like that's going to be a problem. Like, so
Mm-hmm.
good for them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Excited to see two players already going. It just speaks to the depth of the strength, not necessarily the depth, but the strength of the league right now that we've already had 2 players go.
In some very difficult, sad news that you've probably heard already if you're a sports fan, uh, former LSU wide receiver Kyren Lacy died this weekend. I got the text actually from Brandon. I was in church on Sunday, and with the news about this tragic ending to such a promising young life. There were a lot of issues involved, and everyone is analyzing this thing to death. But at the heart of the matter is a young man who was going through some very difficult times. And whenever we go through difficult times, sometimes it's the product of some of what we do, and it's how other people treat us and respond to us as well. It's a whole cauldron of multi levels and emotions, and it was obvious that Kyren Lacy was going through a very, very difficult time. You know, with the NFL draft coming, he was most likely going to be picked due to his talent, but there were some legal issues he was facing, and it really brings to the forefront, guys, the old quote that everyone's carrying baggage that you can't see, and it brings up issues of checking on people and mental health and how we respond to things that are going on in our lives. What drove this young man to take his own life is it's heartbreaking. It's tragic. So our hearts go out to his family. But we were talking off camera. We don't ever want to see this happen to anybody, regardless of what's going on in their lives.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's part of the heartbreak. That's the heartbreak of it. And like you're saying, one of the things we were talking about off camera is I hope something that comes out of this is some programs across all sports, not just football, across all sports, start to prioritize a little bit more mental health of the student athletes that they're charged with, because being 18 to 22, 23 years old is difficult, just being in that time frame. And then when you add being in college, being an athlete, all of those different things, there are some things that some tools need to be developed to be
and
able to do.
your entire family depending on you.
Absolutely.
There's that
Absolutely.
pressure too.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. And I'm hoping that there are some programs that look at this, and there is a moment where they say, okay, what can we do? How can we handle things like this better? How can we take care of our student athletes better and prioritize their mental health? I very much hope that that's something that comes out of this.
Hopefully, this Kyren Lacy story will open some eyes. But I mean, this has been going on. It's been going on since college athletics started. I mean,
Right. Absolutely.
these guys are troubled. There's some really troubled young men out there and women out there, and they need help. And
Yep.
It's so sad that it has to end like that. They feel like obviously there's some kind of disconnect. Like these people feel like they don't have any other avenue.
Yep.
There's like that, like they can't ask for help, or I'm not sure what's going on, but I mean, there's got to be some change. Like this can't continue. Though,
Yep.
like that whole Kyren Lacy thing is, oh my goodness. Like
Heartbreak.
the more information that comes out about it, it's just another layer on top of it. Like somebody could have helped this young man. Like, and it's so sad. It's so sad.
Very much so.
We will put a number up on the screen if you're struggling and with thoughts of self harm. There are places that you can go to and numbers that you can call. And if you don't have somebody that you can reach out to, but I'm willing to bet that there's somebody in your life, and you may be afraid to tell them, but they love you so much they'd rather hear about what's going on with you than to lose you. So I encourage you to reach out. And if you are struggling right now, if you're listening or watching, please know that you are greater. You are so much more than your biggest mistake. Your failures are not fatal. Whatever's going on in your life, you are more than your darkest moment. And if you're going through that darkest moment, please know this. Please know that You are unconditionally loved. You are created in the image of God, and you have value and worth and meaning and purpose. And I hope you'll always know that. Thank you for making the Brew and Shaver Sports Podcast your go-to sports show. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review our show if you haven't already. Your feedback is so important. Let us know what you think about this week's show. Send an email to brewandshavers@gmail.com or a text to our text line 318-390-3599. We look forward to hearing from you. Thank you again for listening to the Brew and Shavers Sports Podcast. See you next week.